Hi everybody, I hope you're well. Another approximately half-hour session today. Again, it's a bit of an all-rounder, so let's get started. Start in high kneeling, feet flat on the floor behind you if you can. Tuck the toes if you struggle to get your feet flat, but best if they are flat. Nice and high, you want your knees directly beneath your hips, so just slightly apart, directly beneath the hips. From here, we're going to bring the arms out to the front, straight out, shoulders nice and relaxed. You're going to take a breath in as you sit back onto the heels and exhale, drive yourself up, squeeze the glutes at the top, almost push the hips forwards. Inhale down, exhale up. Inhale down, exhale up. Keep that core engaged. Make this a nice, solid, sturdy movement through the rest of the body. Just the knees and the hips hinging and the arms lifting out front. Exhale up. Inhale down. Exhale to drive yourself up. Inhale down. Exhale up. 4, 3, 2, and 1. You're going to hold at the top, give yourself a little wriggle out if you need to. Arms come out to the front and stay there this time. Again, relax the shoulders, soften the elbows very slightly. And we're just going to lean back. We're not sitting back this time. We're keeping the whole body, the whole frontal plane of the body rigid, locking in through the core, really using those quads to hold, and then coming back up. Big breath in. Exhale as you just drop back. Try not to sit into this. As I say, you're keeping that whole front of the body completely straight, really loading up those quads. I'm just turning a little bit so that you get a bit of a better angle on what's going on. So the body stays completely straight. Just the knees bending here, just as deep as you can manage. You don't want too much strain on the quads because over time that's going to get very tiring. Just lean into it, feel the quads, bring yourself back up with control. Big breath in at the top, exhale as you drop back, and inhale back up. Exhale to lean back, inhale back up. This is really working those quads nice and controlled as you come back, and then a little bit of explosive power to draw you back up. As you can see, the movement isn't huge, but you'll really be feeling it on those quads. Just being careful of the knees. If you need to roll up a towel and put it under the knees for a little bit more padding, then by all means do. Leaning back and coming forwards. 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to stay in this position, and this time we're going to lean back just about halfway this time, and with a pulsed breath for 8, we're going to pulse back and up. So it's 5, 6, 7, 8, and relax. Really feeling this in the quads now. And again, just dropping back very slightly, big breath in, and for 8, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and back up. And last set of 8, just give yourself a rest. Arms come up, gently back, about half the depth that you were going in the full exercise, and exhale for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, and 1, and relaxing down. Give yourself a little bit of a rest. Going to come down to all fours. I'm just going to shuffle around again for a better angle for you. Wrists directly beneath your shoulders, knees directly beneath your hips, and you're going to bring one leg, doesn't matter which because we're going to do both, one leg directly out to the side. So your hip is at 90 degrees. You don't want to turn the body to do this. Keep yourself as directly down to the ground and square to the ground as you can. So from kneeling, the leg just comes straight out to the side. Foot stays flat to the floor. It's not up in the air like this, it's flat to the floor. Knees straight. Take a nice breath in as you exhale. Just rock back. Use the planted foot and knee as balance and feel this into the adductors. Keep that back as flat as you can and rocking forwards. So a nice flat back so you don't end up hunching into it like this. You just keep the back nice and flat and you just rock back through the hips and the knee. Only as deep as you can go with control and coming back out. And exhale down, feeling this stretch in the adductors, nice flat back, feeling the work through this quad that we've just warmed up. And rocking back. Not too deep, just so that you can feel it, and coming back up. I'm going to do 2 more on this side. And back. And last one. And back up. Tucking that knee back in, we're going to switch sides. Again, I'm just going to change the angle slightly again so that you can see that leg straight out to the side. My body hasn't rotated to allow for that. I'm trying to keep my back and my pelvis completely straight. Foot flat to the floor, nice breath in, and as you exhale, just rock back. Just hold the first one for a little bit longer and just have a little shuffle around just to open up that stretch in the adductors. And get your depth, gauge how deeply you're going to go into each one of these, coming back out. And into the slightly quicker reps, but we don't want to rush these. We want to get the stretch to work. We want to get separate movement back and forwards, so we're not just bobbing around. Nice flat back, nice and strong through the shoulders. Exhale as you drop back. Inhale as you come forwards. Reset your posture each time when you come back to the top. If you have a tendency, particularly when exercises are new to you, lots of people do have a tendency to come back and they'll have hunched their back or they'll have moved around. Just take a second to get strong through the shoulders again, flat through the back, and then dropping back into the stretch. Coming back up. We'll do 2 more. Rocking back on the exhale. Hold to stabilize, coming back forwards. And the last one on this side. And up and resting, tucking the knee in. Now we're going to go into some hip articulation, or hip cars it can be called. So we're staying in this position. If your wrists are a bit tired, give them a circle out, stretch them the opposite way, just give them a chance. And again, you can do this on your fists if it helps to take that flexion off the wrist. Totally up to you. Again, I'm just changing angles so that you can see what's going on. From here, we're going to extend one leg. Again, doesn't matter which, because we're going to do both. You're going to take it straight out behind. You're going to keep that knee high as you turn, bring the leg out to the side, nice and high, and back down. And out to the back, circling through the hip, out to the side, and back down. Out to the back, turn out, rotate, and down. So imagine that that hip joint is lifting out and then it's rotating out, round to the side and back down. Think all the time about that ball and socket, rotating and articulating. Lift the leg out to the side, nice and high, and down. Again, keep that back nice and flat so you're not arching and moving your body around with this. This is all about the leg. Straight out, round to the side, and down. The body stays completely still. 2 more on this side. Nice and slow. Don't rush it. Lifting up and out, round to the side, and down. And switching sides. Again, I'm just moving around. For the camera, you can just stay put. Again, good posture through the back. Reset each time. Flats of the hands or fists, totally up to you. And reaching that leg out to the back. Circle the hip out and round and back down. Out, round and down. Keep that leg nice and high when it comes out to the side. So what we don't want to see is that leg comes out and then to do the circle it's just down here and back, out and down here. We want up high, turn the leg out, keep the knee and the foot high and down. Out, round and down. Really using the glutes as hip extenders and hip abductors and stabilizers for this whole movement. Making sure that that posture stays good and you stay strong through the shoulders. Let's do 2 more. Round, nice and high and down. Last one. Extend out long, out, round and down. And just give yourself a little bit of a rest. If you want to just drop back into a little bit of a child's pose to give yourself a chance to just loosen off a bit, then by all means do. Just take a few breaths. And we're coming back up to all fours. This is the last of the all fours. If your wrists are starting to hurt or your knees are starting to hurt, it's the last of it. I'm going to go into a couple of variations on the bear. So tucking your toes for this one, very definitely. Wrists absolutely must be below your shoulders, nice and tall through the shoulders, so we're not down here, we're nice and strong. Lock in through the core, good posture through that flat back, and as you exhale, you're just going to lift your knees 1/2 inch off the mat. We don't want to be up here. It's just literally so your knees are not in contact with the ground anymore, just so someone could slide a sheet of paper under there. I'm lifting a little bit higher just so that it can be seen a bit better on the camera. Holding for 5, 4, strong shoulders, 2, 1, gently lowering back to the mat. I'm going to do 2 more holds, just simple holds like that before we move on to a variation on it. Big breath in, lock in through the core, exhale, push through the heels of the palms and the toes. Just lift the knees so they're just off the ground. Breathing all the time, particularly in an isometric hold like this, we have a tendency to hold our breaths. We don't want to do that. That raises your blood pressure. That's not what we're after. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and gently lower to the mat. No crashing down. Everything's controlled. Give yourself a little wriggle out if you need to. Last hold. Nice big breath in. Lock in through the core, drawing the belly button to the spine. Exhale, push the floor away and just lift those knees. Holding, breathing all the time. Eyes down to the mat so you don't have stress on your neck and throat with your head up, or you're not just drooped down like this. Eyes down to the mat in front of you. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and gently down to the mat. Again, just give yourself a little bit of a wriggle out, maybe even a little bit of a small cat-cow, just to give that lower back a little bit of a loosen off, get your breath. And the variation on this will need you to have a little bit of space behind you because we're going to extend the legs. So I'm just going to creep forwards a little bit so I'm not kicking the radiator. Good posture again, wrists directly beneath shoulders. Again, this can be done on fists if it helps. Nice big breath in. As you exhale, lift the knees. Stabilize first, and then we're going to extend one leg behind and bring it back, and switch legs. Out behind and bring it back. Switch sides each time and bring it back. Maintaining the height of the knee from the mat so it doesn't creep higher. Maintain that flat back. Maintain strength through the shoulders. Switching sides. 2 more on each side. 2, 2, 1, 1, and gently down to the mat. Just rock back onto your heels, give your wrists and your shoulders a circle out, give yourself a chance to relax, just to wriggle out. A few breaths. I'm going to turn over, come down to the mat, no side lying today. And we're going to come up to seated. We're going to warm up the back and loosen up the spine just with some simple half rollbacks that everyone in this group is familiar with. Arms out to the front, relax the shoulders, soften the elbows, not reaching out strongly like this. Draw yourself up with a flat back by tilting your pelvis forwards. Toes together at the front, knees hip width apart. Nice big breath in, keep that core engaged as you just rock back onto the sacrum. And come back up. With that slight slump as well, chin to chest, which gives you that C-curve spine, which will just help to mobilise the entirety of the spine. But really draw yourself back up as you inhale, nice and tall. Feel those hip flexors, pull the pelvis forwards to straighten the lower back. Exhale down. Inhale up. All these pauses while I'm talking and pointing at things, you just keep moving. You just keep doing those reps. Just make the adjustments of the pointers that I'm giving you as you move. Exhale down. Inhale up. A little bit deeper this time, so just feeling the very lowest point of the back in contact with the mat. Just to make it that little bit harder to hold and that little bit harder work to draw yourself back up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down, a little bit deeper. Inhale up, all the way. Exhale down. Inhale up. Two more. As deep as you can go this time without falling or lying down. Last one. And up. Relax those arms again, give them a bit of a wriggle out. If the hip flexors are really screaming, just let them open up for a few seconds, have a wriggle out. We're going to go into some rotational rollbacks. Again, you'll be familiar with these. Great ones to do for the obliques and strength through the lower back. So, legs just slightly bent this time so that there's a little bit of softness in the knees. Arms out front again, relax the shoulders. Nice big breath in as you draw that bow across and down and you lean back into that C curve. Keep the chin away from the chest though, we don't want to be down here. We want to be nice and open. Rotate your elbow towards the ground behind you and draw back up. And switching sides. Imagine drawing a bow across your chest. Turn your chest to the side wall and come back up. See that my front hand here doesn't move and my feet don't come up or turn or rotate. And back up to seated. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Again, keep that chin away from your chest. The head will bob forward slightly because of the movement that you're making, because it's not going to be comfortable to have it rolled back here, but we don't want it down here tight. Nice and open, and back up. Let's do two more on each side. That nice C curve through the spine, even though you're rotating. Last one on each side. And back to seated, and again, giving yourself that little bit of a rest. So the supine exercises that we're doing, so the lying on your back, even though we're not lying down, that's the attitude that we're in, are really today getting into the hip flexors. Probably already feeling that a little bit. We're going to go a little bit further into that again. So again, knees a little bit more bent so you can get your feet flat on the ground. Arms come out in front again. Even softer this time because this really isn't about the shoulders and the arms this time. but sitting up tall still. Nice big breath in. As you exhale, you're going to bring one leg up and you're going to bring the second leg up. See that I've had to just rock back a little bit. I'm using that C-curve spine again and sitting into the sacrum. The arms are just here for a bit of balance and a little bit of stability. And bring the foot down and the second foot down. Bring yourself back to seated. Again, lead with the other foot this time. If you went with the right first, last time come with the left and bring the other one up to meet it. Try and be as still as you can, as steady as you can. We're essentially just balancing on the sacrum here and bringing one foot down and the other foot leading with a different foot again this time. And up and down. If 2 feet is too much at this point for you, you've given it a go, just come up with one, take it down, take up the second and bring it down. So you're just switching sides. Lift and down, lift and down. Bring yourself back up to seated. If you're doing double feet, then you're going to bring yourself back up to seated each time. Up, up, nice balance. Foot down, back up. Rock back, lift foot, lift the foot, and down, back up to straight seated. Last one, rocking back, switching sides, lift, lift, down, down, and up. And just relaxing back, lying flat out on the mat. Relax those hips. Give the legs a little bit of a wiggle about to let those hips switch off. If you find it useful for those hip flexors, hug the knees into the chest. That shortens the hip flexors, gives them a little bit of a breather. Little rock from side to side to give your lower back a little bit of a massage. We're almost there now. Last exercise. We're going to do the low scissors. Again, most of you will have seen these before. We don't do them regularly, but you will have seen them before. You're going to bring the legs up to tabletop position, possibly really feeling this in the hip flexors now. You're going to bring the upper body into ab prep, press that belly button down towards the spine to press the lower back lightly into the mat. We're going to bring one leg out along the mat, not down to the ground though, just reaching out along the mat. The other one is going to go as straight as you can and you're going to take hold of it as high as you can. If that's down here for you, that's fine. Higher up, the better, but don't worry. Nice big breath in. As you exhale, we're going to switch. Big breath in, exhale and switch. Big breath in, exhale and switch. Again, there's always the pause between. This is about the stillness and the control. This isn't about just doing this and kicking the legs around. So hold, breath in, exhale and switch. Breath in, exhale and switch. Breath in, exhale and switch. Have you let that core go? If you have, draw it in. Exhale and switch. Exhale and switch. And bringing the legs down to the mat. We're going to go through one more set of those, 12 in total, so 6 each side. Take a breath right now. Give yourself a little bit of a wriggle out if you need to. Open up those hips and lower back. Legs come back to tabletop position. Upper body comes up to ab prep with the core firmly engaged. One leg out straight, the other leg out straight, upwards. Take hold, big breath in, exhale and switch. Exhale and switch. Exhale and switch. And switch. And just taking hold, not pulling, just taking hold lightly. Halfway there. Exhale as you switch and stabilize before you go into the next one. 2, 1. And gently bringing the legs to tabletop and down to the mat. Going to lie out flat, going to finish on a stretch, arms out into a T position. Creep the feet to the edges of the mat so you can feel the edges of the mat under each foot and keep them there. Nice big breath in. As you exhale, drop the knees to one side. Keep the feet where they are so you can feel the mat, the edges of the mat under both feet. Don't let the feet slide together. If you need a little bit of weight to draw that internally rotated knee down, and just pop the other foot on top of it, just give it a light press towards the ground to help open things up a little bit. Use your breath, big breath in, full breath out, and on the exhale you might just feel a little bit of depth increase in that stretch. 2 more long deep breaths. Try and switch off, just let gravity do the work. Last big breath. And gently lifting the knees back to center. Reset on the mat very slightly if you need to, and exhale down to the other side. Keeping the feet mat width apart. Keeping the shoulders flat on the ground and using your breath to soften into the stretch. Again, if that leg needs a little bit of assistance, just use the foot on top of it, just as a little bit of weight, just to help open that hip a little bit more. Nice deep breaths. 2 more. Full breath in, full breath out, and just feel that exhale soften you into the stretch. Last one. And gently bringing the knees back to center. Little wriggle out just to neutralize the spine. Bring yourself up to seated, and we're all done. Thanks very much for joining again today, guys. I hope you enjoyed that one and found it useful, and I hope you found all of these useful so far. I am on holiday from Saturday for a week, so there's a good chance that there will be no videos next week. If that is disappointing to you, then by all means just repeat the videos that have been out there and just keep yourself fit, healthy and moving. Give me a shout with any questions. I'll reply as soon as I can, and I'll see you soon.